here we are. This is the paper and pen, pencil and paper, whatever you want to write with, colors, markers. This is the D&D room that we've got here down in our gaming basement. As you can see, we were playing a little bit of something earlier. Going to have to clean all that up for some more gaming later. Just wanted to kind of quick update. Where is this room located, by the way? It is actually right next door to the other retro gaming den with the arcade machine and the TV. All that goody stuff over there. So back in here, I'm just going to kind of give a little tour of over here. This is actually a basement that was converted in the 60s from an old bowling alley. Yes, this used to be a bowling alley, if you can believe that. There's a seating area here, obviously very old, it's a little beat up. There's also here is a section where the bowling balls would sit, as it's got that groove there. You can put bowling balls in there. We put gaming stuff in there because this is a room that's dedicated to tabletop gaming. Board games, card games, anything you can think of, role-playing games, etc., etc. That's what we've kind of got over here. And a lot of empty bookshelves. We're still doing a lot of unpacking, but you can see the potential that will be here. Here's some of our role-playing books. Of course, the Pathfinder. Big part of what we game these days is Pathfinder. Here I've got some. What do I got here? This is miniature stuff for when you're role-playing. You have the DM needs to make a quick cave. There's some pieces that you can run into while you're gaming and stuff. That's always kind of fun to have an idea or visuals as to what the cave looks like there's the doorway, you must go in that way, or whatever. And the D&D section, got some original D&D, AD&D books, all the way to AD&D 2nd edition. These are great books. I grew up playing this right here. TSR, but right before they went out, they tried to do a restructured version of AD&D. Pretty decent books. I would say it's better than 3, but not perfect. Not as good as AD&D 2nd edition in my books. But here is the 3.5 Player's Handbooks and DM's books. Player's Handbook 3.5 right there. You can use these along with that. Just you need the updated rules. So those are D&D books. Down here there's some other ones. There's some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle D&D, sorry, D&D, I keep saying D&D. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles role-playing games books. One of these is an original and one of these is a second print. Two of them are second printings, but it's from the role-playing game Ninja Turtles, and these are actually all books all the way like to here. I think this is Ninjas and Super Spies, also done by Palladium Books. Trans-dimensional Ninja Turtles, a Ninja Turtle folder with character sheets and stuff in it. And I'll do more books or more videos on some of these, but these are all Ninja Turtle role-playing game books. We're pretty big Ninja Turtle fans, so we got lots of that and some other Palladium book games. Mad Haven, which is a fun one. Oh, and then we've got some vampire books. While passing Heroes. Heroes is good too. Cyberpunk. Also got some Cyberpunk books. And I keep knocking stuff over. Cyberchrome. The Chrome book. The Cyberpunk Style Guide. It's a really good campaign. Not campaign, but companion book. Vampire books. They got Masquerade, we got Player's Guide to Sabbat, a bunch of clan books, got some of that. Then we got Mage and Werewolf, those are both really nice. Something we actually got into recently is the Call of Cthulhu series. We've got a couple books in that role-playing series. Excellent game right there. It's a lot of fun. Basically trying to stay alive until you go crazy or die. Everyone dies is usually the point of any adventure we play in Call of Cthulhu. And then over here I've got a big giant collection of Blue Planet books, and I believe this is all of the version 2 collection. These are all the books that they released for it, and Access Denied is like a little resource book. The Player's Guide, I actually had punched the book. I had it was just a soft cover version of the Player's Guide, so I actually had the end cut off and had that punched so I could lay it open and you know, easier to read through. The rest of them are all hardcover books, except for the GURPS on the very end here. There's a GURPS Blue Planet book. Blue Planet version 2, First Colony, all those books. If you are ever curious about Blue Planet, I can do a video just on that. We really try to play this a lot. I haven't played it in quite a while, but it's a pretty awesome game. Really interesting rules. Not very similar to D&D at all. It's got a whole different concept to it, but it's pretty fun. And here's some magic cards, and I think there's magic and spellfire cards in there. I really like spellfire a lot. Coming all the way down here, we've got some papers and what do we got here? There's D&D folder, Dragon Age Collector's Edition. I'm not even sure what that is. It's just a book. Here's actually an interesting one for some of my Turbo friends. An actual source book, role-playing game book for Dangerous Journeys. Gary Gygax's Dangerous Journeys game book. Very, very cool role-playing game that was created by Gary Gygax after he had done D&D a few years later. I have never played it. I've looked through this a couple times trying to figure out how we can do it, but I've never actually played it, so I can't talk too much on it. But it's a big deal because this is one of the last video games that was actually starting development for the TurboGrafx in the US. So Dangerous Journeys would have been released on an actual video game console had the Turbo been able to hold out just a little bit longer, but unfortunately that didn't happen, so we're still looking for the beta of that. Shadowrun, got a 2nd edition and a 3rd edition book. A lot of fun there. I really like Shadowrun games. I haven't played that in a while, though. It's been a long time. And I got some Legends and Liars books for use with the D20 system, which is, of course, the same thing that basically D&D 3.5 is. And then I've actually got some Handmade role-playing games in here. Well, I shouldn't say they're all handmade. These are Dragonstorm books. Dragonstorm is a role-playing game that's quite a bit smaller. It's mainly based on the art by Susan Van Camp. The Black Dragon Press company makes it. And the whole point of the game is it's a card-based role-playing game. Yes, you use cards to play the game. So you have like a deck of cards in your hand and you're role-playing with them. And it's interesting. You have a character card and you have item cards. I'll probably make a whole video just on Dragonstorm because I really think it's a great game. It's actually one of my favorite role-playing games, and it's the only one that I actually DM these days, which is, if you don't know role-playing, a dungeon master is the type of person that tells the story, is basically the rule book for the night, and the players are the players that are playing and trying to get through the end of the adventure. The game master or dungeon master, I've always said DM my whole life, so I'm not going to stop. The DM or the game master is the one that tells the story, or, you know, plays the role of all the bad guys that are trying to kill the party. So this is what I mainly game master is Dragonstorm, just because I think it's a really cool game. I've got a couple source books here, a lot of fun. I also write up, you know, story stuff in here. Oh, look at that. The Land of Og. Oh wow, I didn't even realize I still had that. That's pretty cool. Didn't even realize that was in there. Land of Og, I have actually only played once or twice. We should really play this. This is really fun. And the idea behind it's really fun. It's you're a caveman. There's some character sheets. You're a caveman, and you just play. You're getting chased by dinosaurs and all kinds of stuff. It's really cool. There's a word list. These are the only words you can actually say in the game. Yes, you can say you, water, hairy, smelly, and you could say verisimilitude. And we looked up what verisimilitude means, and it means the appearance of truth. So in the game of Og, your character can only say all these words, which makes it really fun. It's a really cool game. I'm actually going to keep that out because that I would like to play again. But some of these handmade role-playing games, these are games that back before I had money, we would basically just make our own games. And I had just trying to find some. Oh, this is the Quest for Voltorn. There's a character sheet. Anyway, I don't know. I guess I don't have any really available right now, but I had a couple books that had some stuff, and I'll have to find where those are. And again, we're not all completely unpacked, but Oh man. Let's see. These came in some packaging. I think it was wine bottles that we ordered. We're in a wine club. Winos. We're winos. And I kept these just because, I mean, if you can't see the potential here, I'm going to get some paint. I'm going to get some X-Acto knives, and I'm going to make castles out of these, or some kind of landscapes, you know, because there is potential here for some really fun miniatures games. And I've kept all of those in packaging boxes just to do that. And then over here is the board games. We've got a few of these. I believe these are all the board games we own, which is a lot, but not a crazy amount. And there's just some really good-looking, fun family ones there, Ninja Turtles and Sorry and Life, and you know, all those basic ones, Pictionary, Clue, Monopoly. Great for game nights when the kids are like, hey, I'm not interested in watching a movie, not interested in, you know, doing whatever, so we'll just have a game night, we'll play games. Got a lot of categories, battleships, you know, the usual family trivia pursuits. And then over here is kind of the more hardcore gamer ones. Well, these are actually campaigns for role-playing. They shouldn't be over here, they should be like over there. But, you know, Apples to Apples is kind of a big deal. Bunko is fun. The Settlers of Catan games. Red Dragon Inn. I don't know if you're too familiar with that. This is actually done by Slugfest Games, if you're not familiar with it. And we only have the 4-player version. There is now, I believe, 4, 6, 8, 12 player versions of this. And it's just an awesome, awesome card game. Or, I'm sorry, not a card game. It's an awesome, awesome game. I believe it does actually play a little bit like a card game. It's a mix of a card game and a board game, but it's incredibly fun. We played that for the first time a couple years ago at Gen Con. It's really awesome. Munchkin, you gotta have Munchkin. I play a lot of the Rails games, so we've got Australian Rails, Iron Dragon, and Empire Builder. I know there's other ones out there. I haven't purchased any in a while. Some other ones, Hidden Conflicts, fun. Dead Man's Treasure is interesting. Played that. Actually, I got this for like $1 a couple of years ago at Gen Con. It was pretty fun. It's an island hopping game, basically a card game. You try to take over islands and find treasures and all kinds of stuff like that. The Stratego section, yes, I'm a pretty big Stratego nerd. I got the original, I've got the Lord of the Rings edition, and then I've got Stratego Legends, which was a failed idea, trying to make Stratego into a collectible board game. Yeah, you could actually buy expansion packs and try to make your armies more powerful. You'll see these every once in a while, probably on clearance at most places. It's not that great, but it was interesting. Pit is one of my... And there's the bell on there, good. Pit's an awesome, awesome card game. If you want a good party game, play Pit. Kung Fu Fighting, Possession, some other ones. World of Warcraft, the card game. Pokemon Junior I'm actually pretty happy with. That's a game that I think I found clearance at like a Toys R Us or something, and I got it for the kids. It's basically a mini role-playing game where you have a game master and you have a bunch of players and you just play Pokemon against each other. It's actually really, really well done. One game master tells a story, the other play the game, and it's really fun. The kids really like it. Oh, and here's Railroading in Japan, Nippon Rails, another Rails game, which is, if you don't know the Rails games, you can probably look up videos online of what Rails games are like, but they're super fun. They're like one of the best board game styles that I like. First time I played it, I hated it. I really didn't understand it. I thought it was boring. I thought there was too many rules, but after I got the hang of it, I really fell in love with it. Risk, Heroescape, and Dungeon. Also got Dragon Strike, the board game. I do not have the VHS tape anymore. Where did it go? I don't know, but it went somewhere. But, yeah, there's board games. Got some more up here. Gregory Horror Show. Got some mangas there. Some other board games down here. This is actually one here. This is really unique because it's the only one ever in existence. My wife actually made this game. And we've never played it, but we're going to play it someday. She made this a couple years ago, I think back when she was in college. But it's really sweet. Really cool idea. And this is another bag here. This bag is actually a bunch of art and game cards done by a guy. Let's see if I can find it here. Done by, what does it say who the guy is that did it? I can't think of his name off the top of my head. This sucks. Anyway, he is famous for, well, or infamous, if you can kind of tell by the art there, because that is actually the character Chakin from Chakin the Ever Living, or Chakin the whatever his name was, for the Genesis. He actually made There it is, checkin.com. I don't know if you can see that or not. God, the focus on here is terrible. It says checkin.com there. Killer cards, checkin.com. Yeah, there's actually Checkin right there. The artist that did this did games and stuff, like board games and stuff. But he also was the artist that did Checkin for the Genesis. I thought that was super cool. I can't see where's his name on here, but yeah, I think his name is Rack or Dak or something. I can't. Copyright Robert Krause. Yeah. Anyway, oh, Rack right there, Rack. His name is an artist is just Rack, R-A-K, and he did the art for Checkin for the Genesis. He also told me a couple stories, which I'd love to, when I meet, if I can ever see him again. He was at Gen Con a couple years ago, and he told me stories about how Sega had basically told him how they were going to make a whole series of Checkin games, and that he was really stoked about it. He was like, wow, I made a character that's going to be a big series, and because the first game didn't sell very well, or whatever reason, or it was too dark, or people, I don't know, people complained about it for some reason, they actually canceled the rest of the series. But he was in the, he was thinking there was going to be a whole series of Genesis games on the Checkin series. So anyway, yeah, D&D room, card games, board games. There's lockers over there. That's interesting. The lockers were here when we moved in, so. And there's the table. I'm trying to gradually get more comfortable chairs. I've got a beat up old living room chair there, and I just picked up a other comfortable one over there. That's pretty nice. Got that from a thrift store locally, but all the rest are uncomfortable folding chairs. So for now, that's what we got. We're going to keep trying to get more and more stuff. Till next time, we'll check out another room.